Hi, and thanks for joining me today. This is Mike with Designs by M, and today I wanted to show you how I created this beautiful background using Distress Oxides and a Gina K Designs stamp set. Now, while this stamp set may not be available at this time, rumor has it the minis may be coming back in a clear stamp form, but any floral stamp set that you use from Gina K Designs would work wonderfully for this project. So these are the supplies that I'm going to use today. I have my clear block. I am using a Gina K Designs Summer Blooms stamp set. This is one of my favorite stamps. I'm using a Gina K Designs Passionate Pink. And for my Distress Oxides, I'm going to use a Vintage Photo, some peeled paint. I'm using Broken China. And lastly, worn lipstick. Now for the paper today, I'm using Strathmore marker. The sheet of paper is 6 by 8, but I'm going to be putting this on the front of a card, and I'm going to go ahead and end up cutting it. And so the finished size would be 5 1/4 by 4, but I like to stamp on sheets of paper that are a little bit bigger because then I can use the extras in embellishments and trim for other cards. So with the magic of YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video. The entire stamping process did take me about 15 minutes to go ahead and stamp out, but I'm going to go ahead and put some music on for you and meet you back when the stamping is complete, and we will go ahead and finish the card together. All right, now while I go ahead and finish up stamping here, I did want to point out, while I am not an expert at stamping, I do think it is important to rotate your paper as well as your stamp and or block so that you get random patterns. Now here is the finished paper. I think this just looks really awesome. I love those colors. Really beautiful. All right, so the next thing that I want to do is create a mat, and I'm going to go ahead and this mat will actually go behind the sentiment. And so what I want to do is take some of that worn lipstick and just go around the edges. You won't see the center, so all I need to do is the edges. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and set that to dry and move on to the sentiment. All right, and now for the actual sentiment. Now the sentiment, as well as the butterfly that I'm about to stamp, is from a stamp set that I had in my stash from a generic company. And I am going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment in VersaFine Black Onyx. I really like how crisp this came out. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside to dry. So I originally wanted to use a butterfly on the front of the card, and so I did stamp and fussy cut a butterfly, but it hit a lot of the background. So I removed that, and what I decided to do was use a smaller butterfly on some vellum. That way I could still see the background. And I think it's really important that if you don't like something on a card, you can always change it. That's the creative process. So here I am using my powder tool to remove any static from the vellum, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp the butterfly using Versamark. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on some white embossing powder and heat set that. Now it's time to go ahead and add my vellum to my panel. And all I'm going to do is use some double-sided tape on the back of the panel and then fold over the vellum so that it adheres to the back. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take my fingernail and kind of crease that just a little bit so that there's a little bit of sharper edge there. And now my vellum is on, and I think that's a really nice choice. I'm really happy with the way that that came out. So I have my butterfly, but it doesn't really hide the rest of the background. I've already went ahead and put together the mat on the back of the sentiment, and I went ahead and applied some foam tape there and applied that to the panel. And now all I need to do is pop up this panel onto the card that I pre-made, and for the card base I'm just using some black cardstock in 110 pound weight. It is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sized black card, and I'm going to go ahead and use the foam tape and pop that up onto the center there. And that finishes off the card. I really like the way that this came out. And that is the finished card for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this process and you will go ahead and try this out. I would love to see anything that you've created on social media. You could go ahead and use the hashtag DesignsByM. And until the next card, I will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.